Hey, yo. Rest in peace to the bad guy, Scott Hall. Thank you for the memories, bro.
Let's go.
You could have been anywhere in the YouTube world, but you are here with me. And I appreciate that. Welcome to Zay Reviews. And on this installment, we are reviewing this week's Monday Night Raw. So Raw took place this week in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. Shout out to my family down there in Jacksonville. Blessings to y'all. It's been a minute. Love y'all. So we start the night off with an in-ring segment from Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is pretty much running down his KO show interview that he is going to have with Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania Saturday. And just to build up some hype for the segment, Kevin Owens is like, I can't wait to confront Stone Cold. I can't wait to sit down, talk to him, and beat him up. And just to hype us up for that, he stuns the nearest cameraman. The cameraman, goes for the oversell. And it was just a little segment to hype up the confrontation that we're going to get between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Next, we get a non-title confrontation between Damien Priest and the United States champion, Finn Balor. Damien does a little ode to Scott Hall. We see this throughout the night a couple of times, but Damien Priest hits Finn Balor with the Razor's Edge on the announce table. The announce table doesn't break. I don't know. These tables are like indestructible these days. Now on commentary, Austin Theory is there and he is talking mess about Pat McAfee, pretty much hinting at the match that they're going to have at WrestleMania. And I think that is interesting that Austin Theory was involved in this match between Damien Priest and Finn Balor, trying to get involved, get in the mix, causing the distraction to Finn, allowing Damien Priest to hit the reckoning and win the match. So now Damien Priest has a non-title victory over Finn Balor. The fact that Austin Theory was there ringside makes me think that they're going to slowly insert Austin Theory into the United States title picture. I would have been a lot better with Damien Priest, Finn Balor, and Austin Theory having a triple threat match for the United States Championship at WrestleMania, as opposed to Austin Theory having a match with Pat McAfee. But it is what it is. Maybe they'll intertwine these two storylines. I don't know. We still have time before Mania. You never know. Next, we get a one-on-one match between Omos and Commander Aziz. I'm sorry. I said it like that because the way Apollo introduced Aziz when he made his debut. But anyway, tall man versus tall man, so the match didn't last too long. Aziz tried to hit a suplex on Omos, but Omos will reverse with a suplex of his own. Then he'll lift up Commander Aziz for the two-handed chokeslam, 1, 2, 3, and Omos goes over. Apollo Crews tries to do a little post-match run-in, but all he got for his trouble was a palm to the face and a double-hand chokeslam for him. I don't know what they're going to do for Omos at WrestleMania, but if they do have like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year, Omos, in my opinion, is definitely a shoo-in to win that. Next, we get a backstage segment between the women's tag team champions, Queen Zelina and Carmella. Zelina's pretty much in Carmella's face like, hey, you got to get real, you got to get serious. I know that you and Corey, y'all got this whole little YouTube series going on and you feeling real high and mighty, but I need you to come back now and focus on our tag team championships. We're going into WrestleMania. We got to defend these things, yo. Like, you need to be on your A game or else. And Carmella's like, or else. And like, shrugs it off, whatever. After that, we head to the ring and we get a one-on-one match between Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega. So at WrestleMania, there's going to be a triple threat women's tag team match where Queen Zelina and Carmella will defend the tag team titles against Sasha Banks and Naomi and the team of Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. So this match wasn't too long. Carmella, who came out with Zelina to support her during this match, since Liv Morgan had Rhea by her side. Carmella as ringside trying to cheer on Zelina throughout the match, but this gets Rhea Ripley's attention, and as Carmella gets shook at the sight of Rhea, she runs towards Corey. She runs in Corey's arms, grabs him. Corey is holding Carmella. Rhea Ripley walks up to them. Yo, Corey Graves is hilarious, yo. He starts doing like a little kick. Like, yo, get out of here, Rhea. Get away from me. Like get away from my baby. And you ain't gonna touch my girl. What you doing? Like the little shuffle kick. It was mad funny. Of course, this distracts Zelina. She's tight. She gets upset. But this leads to Liv Morgan capitalizing and beating Zelina Vega 1, 2, 3 clean. And it sucks, man. Zelina Vega catching a pin once again. And For someone who is one half of the women's tag team champions and also the queen of the ring, she is jobbing. Like, why is Zelina still a jobber? Like, they brought her back to do the job. Look, she deserves much better, but we'll see what they do. Building up to this match in the next couple of weeks. As Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley are celebrating Liv's win, Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring. He does his little goofy dance that, you know, the stuff that Seth Rollins does. So Seth grabs the mic. He says, I have a great idea. He invites Kevin Owens to come down to the ring. And Seth goes, hey, I have an idea for WrestleMania. How about I interview Stone Cold? We could both interview Stone Cold, or you and I could have a match, and whoever wins could interview Stone Cold. Kevin Owens was like, no, bruh. Like, how you how you swagger jack like that? That's my idea. That's my key into WrestleMania. Like, I think it's funny that a lot of the builds for these matches are, WrestleMania is the most stupendous show ever. How am I going to be a part of the most stupendous show ever? It's so funny. A lot of matches have that build. But we get a match later on in the night where Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens are going to face one-on-one, and the winner will interview Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. It's just odd, you know, there's rumors going around that Cody Rhodes, after leaving All Elite Wrestling, is supposed to jump ship to WWE, but that's never been confirmed. The only thing that's been confirmed is that Cody left AEW. It was never confirmed that Cody has signed with WWE, so whatever. There's rumors going around that Cody's gonna make a pop-up appearance and he's gonna face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see in the next coming weeks. Next, we get a tag team match as the Mysterious Ray and Dominik take on the team of Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, the Hurt Business. During this match, we have The Miz and social media personality Logan Paul ringside on commentary, talking mess, hyping up the match that they're going to have with the Mysterios at WrestleMania. As far as the tag match, it was pretty quick. Rey Mysterio, Dominik picking up the quick and clean win. Dominik winning with the Frog Splash. Afterwards, we get a post-match run-in from The Miz and Logan Paul, trying to get one up on the Mysterios like how they did in the previous week. They ended up ambushing The Miz, getting him out of the ring. They almost attempted to hit Logan Paul with a double 619, but The Miz grabbed Logan Paul out of the ring, because of course, you're going to have to pay to see that. I'm sorry, it's no longer called pay-per-views. What are they called now? Premium live events? You're going to have to premium live event that for whatever. They're building up the match for WrestleMania, and I guess we're going to have to wait till WrestleMania to see Logan Paul catch any type of contact. Next, we get actually one of my favorite moments throughout the night, man. We get a segment from Edge. But Edge comes out to this new like blue purplish lighting similar to what he had in the previous week. Boy has a new theme song. Now, I was a little iffy at first because I love On This Day I See Clearly. Like, once he came out to that for the first time back in like 05, that theme song is a slapper. But his new one is pretty cool. It fits his new kind of heelish turn. Now, Edge is in the ring cutting a promo, and he's pretty much saying, hey, even though I love the fact that I've been back, when I came back to please y'all. But at the same time, I felt weak, yo. I'm not the type of person that I thought I was. I was taking L's to the Aquaman cosplayer Roman Reigns. He stacked me at WrestleMania. I'm over here getting in feuds with Randy Orton. Now, these are two guys who have been my favorite for a very long time. And out of the entire WrestleMania card, I am looking forward to Edge versus AJ Styles the most. Next, we get a one-on-one match between Bianca Belair and Dewdrop. Now, they fought each other several times at this point, and even though I love the spot when Bianca Belair gets Dewdrop up from the KOD, they've done it a lot already. There's a reason why, I mean, I was about to say there was a reason why Hogan ain't slammed Andre the Giant twice, but he definitely did. But there's a reason why they just play that one spot over. You know what I'm saying? Like, they never really had him do it over. Not within months afterward. I don't know. Like, don't oversaturate that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to use it for maybe someone who's bigger or like around the same build as Dewdrop. But don't just have them just do that over and over again. It's still impressive, yeah, but you don't want to kill it. You don't want to kill the spot. But anyway, Bianca got the win. Afterwards, Becky Lynch came down to the ring and do a little post-match run, and there's been a lot of those throughout the night. You know, building up for respective WrestleMania matches. During this attack ringside, Becky Lynch would lodge the chair into Bianca Belair's throat, and it's, you know, Bianca kind of set herself up for that one earlier. Before her match with Dewdrop, she was saying how Becky Lynch is always talking, yada, yada, yada. So Becky was like, all right, I'm going to take away your ability to talk. So Becky Lynch gets one up on Bianca, still building up for their Raw Women's Championship match that goes down at WrestleMania Saturday. Next, we get an in-ring segment from the new Raw Tag Team Champions, Randy Orton, Matt Riddle, Team RK Bro. So Randy is saying how excited he is for the first time in his career going into WrestleMania as a tag team champion. So when the first time Randy Orton and Matt Riddle won the Raw Tag Team Championships, Matt Riddle threw a party for Randy Orton, kind of like a toga party. But this time around, during their second run as Raw Tag Team Champions, Randy Orton decided to throw a party for your boy Matt Riddle. And Randy Orton is a funny dude, yo. He was saying how parties isn't really his forte. The whole ring just had random like decorations everywhere. There was RK Bro behind Randy Orton that looked like that it was on like the biggest piece of tissue paper. I don't know. It just looked crazy throughout, but it was a funny segment. Especially the part where Randy Orton was like, yo, I got you a little gift. And all you see is this Matt Riddle pick up this little green pouch. You already know what they're, you know, hinting at. Randy Orton goes, yo, I've been searching high and low. Ah, man, I love this duo between Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, man. They're a very, very entertaining bunch. But while Randy Orton was saying that he was searching high and low, that's when we get interrupted by the Street Profits. So I'm like, oh, all right, they about to come out, throw down 5. We about to get a Raw Scythe. Nope. They come out, they're like, nah, we pinned y'all a couple weeks ago, so y'all owe us a shot at those tag team championships. Randy Orton is like, nah, yo, y'all gonna have to earn that. Y'all gonna have, like, the things that we went through. We had to go through a spelling bee. We had to go through Chad Gable saying shoosh a bunch of times. Like, they had to go through the woodworks to get them belts. So they're like, nah, yo, y'all gonna have to earn it. No, my answer is no. So Montez Ford, Randy Orton getting each other face. Matt Riddle was like, yo, break it up. Let's all get along. We all having a good night. And Angelo Dawkins like, oh, you trying to step up to Tez? You want to step up to Tez? All right. Montez Ford, Matt Riddle right now, 1-on-1. And then we got the match between Montez Ford and Matt Riddle. Now, this match is pretty clean. And when it comes to like the newer generation of WWE talent, Montez Ford and Matt Riddle are up there with me. The way that Matt Riddle wrestles, I've always liked, and Montez Ford easily one of the cleanest frog splashes of all time. But these two have a really nice match. Matt Riddle does hit Montez Ford with Randy Orton's RKO, but before he could capitalize, we get an interference from Otis and Chad Gable. So the former Raw Tag Team Champions run down, they cause havoc, they beat everybody up, and it looked like they're gonna set up a triple threat tag team title match for WrestleMania. They didn't announce it tonight, but they might announce it on the next week's episode of Raw. I could see that being a thing. After the video package that WWE puts together in loving memory of our boy Scott Hall, we get the main event of the night. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, winner, has that interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Not a match, but an interview. And I understand, you know, when I first heard that Stone Cold Steve Austin might be coming back for WrestleMania since it was in Texas, and since it's Stone Cold Steve Austin, in the back of my mind, I'm like, Mans hasn't wrestled in 20 years. Even on his way out, he wasn't in the best physical form. If I'm as old as I am, then I know Austin's up there. So I knew he wasn't going to take a bump. So I knew it was going to be like a little, you know, how they was going to weasel their way around that some type of way. So we're going to get an in-ring interview with Stone Cold. Now, these guys have a really good match. A lot of crazy spots throughout this match, especially when Seth Rollins attempted to hit the Falcon Arrow on Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens reversed with a fisherman suplex off the top rope. I liked that spot. That was a pretty dope spot. But the match will come down to its end when Seth Rollins would attempt to hit Kevin Owens with the curb stomp. He would miss, and Kevin Owens would capitalize with a stunner. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens wins clean. He keeps his spot that he secured at WrestleMania, And Seth Rollins is still wondering what he's going to do to be a part of the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time. All they really did was they put this together to hold us off for another week. I don't know if this whole Cody Rhodes thing is true, but if it is, I won't be surprised if they don't hold it off until the night before WrestleMania or on one of those WrestleMania nights where Seth Rollins will come out, have a segment, be mad as hell, and then Cody will come out and interrupt them. That's the only thing I can see them doing. For them to hold us off another week with that, that's the only way I can see that build going. It reminds me of how they did the whole build with John Cena, Undertaker, John Cena coming out every week calling Undertaker out. But it's not like Seth's coming out to call out Cody, but with this whole rumor thing, I know it's driving everybody nuts. I know that Raw's ratings went up crazy these past few weeks just off of people anticipating Cody coming out of those curtains, coming out of Gorilla. Like, I know that people have been watching Raw for weeks, and I know their ratings are looking good. So I know that them being as smart as they are, they're probably just going to hold us all over. So just so they could get their ratings. And then if Cody is indeed signed to WWE, he probably won't make his return until WrestleMania. But that was this week's edition of Monday Night Raw. As far as a grade goes, I'll say it was smooth. You know, it wasn't the best Raw. It wasn't the worst Raw. It was just something to carry us over. Usually the way that they usually book Raw. Now, after Ronda Rousey chose Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, to be her match at WrestleMania, and the fact that Brock and Roman are going through this whole title unification thing, I knew that the Raw shows were kind of going to be iffy going into WrestleMania, especially when you have the two matches that are going to be the main events of Saturday and Sunday, respectfully. They're both from SmackDown. So Raw, they got to like pull teeth to keep the fans engaged going into WrestleMania. So we'll see what they do with this whole Cody and Seth thing. Thank you to tapping in to Zay Reviews. Thank you for following through. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, share, turn on notifications on, engage people. Until next time, peace.